Okay, y'all, story time. So, back when I was an admissions coordinator, which was probably a little more than 20 years ago, um, someone had actually recommended me for that role. I was a nurse aide, med tech, and basically they were like, hey, you do great in admissions. Tossed me into admissions for a hospice company. Did great, mastered it. Anyway, fast forward. I'm sitting in my office one day, and mind you, these offices had paper thin walls, so you could hear pretty much anything and everything that was going on in these offices. And more times than not, I was so focused, I didn't pay attention to what was going on in the other room. However, one day in particular, my administrator at the time had a call on speaker, and it just happened to be with the VP of the company. I'm going to leave all these people nameless. And so, anyway, I somehow my name came into play, and it was probably because she was looking at me for a sales role, which I didn't really know anything about at the time. And he basically said to her that he didn't feel like I was qualified for that position, nor did he feel like I should have ever been put into an admissions or an intake role. Not because I wasn't capable of doing the job, but because he didn't feel as if I had the education to do the job. And he would have put someone else in that role. And the conversation continued. And anyway, it was pretty brutal. And I took it home with me and I molded over and and it hurt my feelings a little bit, but because of who I am, I kind of bounced back up and kept it moving. And then fast forward, I of course excelled in the world of sales. Well, one day I was in one of my facilities and I was paged to the front because there was someone there, and it just happened to be a VP of another hospice company. And wanted to talk to me. At the time, I was in a regional business development sales role. So I had 12 facilities and 26 teammates underneath me. And when I went to the front, of course, had my badge on, his eyes met mine. He looked at my badge. He stuttered and stumbled over his words and realized who I was. And he just looked at me, and I just kind of smiled. And he told me what he was there for, and of course, tried to overtalk, which is always a red flag for me. And I actually got to tell him that he would not only not get a contract for that particular facility, but he wouldn't work with any of the 46 within the company. That was my victory moment. The moral of that story is two things, actually. Healthcare, any world, really, the world of business is a very small world. You have to be very careful with the way you treat people, talk to people, because you never know when or if you're going to encounter them again. And if you do, what role they're going to be in. The other moral of that story is listen to me, people. And I just went through this with a friend of mine. Don't let an employer keep you in a position that you either feel like you've outgrown, or maybe you just feel like you were meant to do more. If they belittle you or they talk down on you, basically tell you you're not qualified for that role, you're not qualified for any other role, if you leave, you'll never be able to come back, don't let them bully you into that. If you feel like you're meant to do more, you probably are. And don't let those words anchor you down and keep you from being who you were meant to be and do the things that you were meant to do, because I've done things that I never would have thought I was capable of doing. And you're looking at someone who went from making like $7.25 an hour, which was what I was making under 20,000 a year, to I've made as high as six figures in my career. So don't let these leaders and employers and companies bully you so that you stay stagnant in the role that you're in. That's really all I came to say. I gotta go. Y'all have a good day.